This Aussie music legend has a voice to rock any roof off. He even gives younger brother Jimmy Barnes a run for his money in the vocal department.
Yes, we're talking about John Swanee Swan, and he joins us now to talk about his latest project, Rock for Reflection and Remembrance. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. It's great to see you.
Absolute pleasure, and it's nice to see you too, Tristan. How are you?
Fantastic, buddy.
Tell us about this brand new album, which is for a good cause and features a huge range of artists.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, John Schumann, Normie Rowe, everybody's veterans. We're all sort of veterans. And Anthony the Wiggles, he's a veteran. The Externals, they're all SAS guys. Mary Patch, 10 veteran soldiers, riflemen. You know, they really are. There's 20 or I think there's 30 songs on the album, and they're all about guys they come back from Afghanistan. When they come back, we wanted them to feel better than. It's all about making them feel more part of society. I was in the army in 1970, and when the boys come back from Vietnam, they got treated like crap. I was ashamed to be Australian, you know, and even with an accent like this. And they drove me mad because you know, nobody appreciated what they were doing, you know. And those guys today, I've just spent the last 15 years going around hospitals playing to veterans who are still so badly traumatized because they've seen things and did things that no man should have to do.
Yeah. And
what we want to do is, you know, bring them back through the arts, because they all play a wee bit of guitar, they all play a wee bit of, you know, they do a lot of painting and stuff like that. So we're going to just make sure that they get occupied, and that the government doesn't bloody ignore them, same as they usually do, you know.
Yeah, I'd imagine those experiences play a huge role in why it's so important for you to be involved.
Yeah, well, you know, I joined the army in 1970, and much to their dismay. But I was, you know, the camaraderie that you get in the army is something else and they should do it with young offenders. And I know it's very controversial to say that, and I never really believed it before. But what it taught me was I went from being the biggest ratbag in the world to the second biggest ratbag in the world. And that was a big step for me, you know. My whole life changed then.
The songs on the album all have themes that fit in with what you're talking about, and you perform a couple of the songs on the album, one of which you're going to perform for us in just a moment. It's, of course, When the War Is Over. Now, we all know and love that song, but what's the history with it for you?
Well, I was actually in the original Chisel, so I had, and I took Steve along, and, of course, Jimmy's my little brother, and Don Walker's one of the most finest men I've ever met in my life. Great guy, great songwriter. So I rang Don and I said, Don, this is what's happening. And we've got the Veteran Affairs, everybody behind this, because it has to be, the whole of Australia has to realise what people put up with when they go to war. You know, it's not just sitting over there firing guns at each other. They lay in pits, and they might not, you know, they can't even go to the toilet and stuff. I'm not going to talk about it on here, but so I rang Don and I said, mate, this is what I want to do. And he said, well, why are you asking me? Go and do it. You know,
that's great.
And that's the type of guy Don is. He's a, you know, they all are. All of the, you know, I've got John Stevens, you know, they're all getting behind us. They know. Guys like Russell Morris, you know, a lot of the older guys they sort of get what it would be like to be there.
Yeah.
Because they've been friends with so many vets over the years.
Yeah, that's right.
As I'm sure you have yourself.
Yeah.
Indeed. And Swanee, we're very lucky.
You know, I'm just going to say that on the 11th, when the boys come back, we released an album, and it's available through all those major places, you know, Spotify and iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, all that sort of stuff. So get behind them and give them a hand, you know. None of the money goes to anywhere. Anything that I do, none of the money comes to me. Just ask my wife. You know, it just doesn't come here. I make sure. I used to be addicted to drugs and alcohol. Now I'm addicted to, you know, helping other people who are less fortunate. And I'm grateful to be alive today, rather than you know, I don't have all the flash stuff, the 5 acres in Sydney and all that stuff, the boat in the harbour that I used to have. But I've got an old guitar and an old Mercedes, and I'm happier than I've ever been in my life because I'm doing something good it's honest, you know.
Well, bless you,
That's a
John.
hell of a trait to have.
Bless you. That's a great sentiment. The other thing you have is an amazing voice, which we are going to get to hear. We'll let you get into place to perform while I give the details about the album. The Rock for Reflection and Remembrance
so nice
album
to talk to you guys.
Is out right now, so make sure you take a listen. It's been great to chat to you today, Swanee. Here you are, performing When the War Is Over.
Pleasure. I watch this every day.
Oh, God bless.
Appreciate you, bud.
Take it away.
All right, buddy. Here we go. Ain't nobody gonna steal this heart away. Ain't nobody gonna steal this heart away. When the war is over, gotta get away. Pack my bags to no place, ain't no time, no day. You and I, we've used each other's shoulders. Still so young and somehow so much older. How can I go home and not get blown away? Young Stefan. With my hands. Something, but it doesn't mean our days are numbered. I've got plans for more than a wanted man. All around is chaos and madness. Can't feel nothing more than sadness. Only choice to face it the best that I can. When the war is over, got to start again. Try to hold on to a place like it was back then. You and I, we use each other's shoulder. Still so young and so much older. How can I go home and not get blown away? Ain't nobody, Lord, there ain't nobody gonna steal this heart away.
Oh, how brilliant is he, John Swan? What an absolute rock star.